All right. Excellent. Good morning, Cleveland, and everybody else. You're with Shawn
And Thiago. Good morning, guys. Happy Saturday.
got the Saturday feeling. I hope everyone woke up on the right side of the bed this morning.
Yeah, this was, I think, my first time waking up before 11:30 for the last 2 months. So I'm having a
You
glorious weekend.
poor thing. Oh my goodness. The structure is coming back into your life, Thiago.
Slowly, yeah. But I haven't had a lesson with you, Shawn. So how have you been during this lockdown? Now that it's what? I think it's been
Yeah,
8 weeks now. We've
we're
been
two
doing
months
this.
deep. We are 2 months deep, Thiago, in this. No, everything's going good. Me and my four walls, fantastic.
Wait,
I
do you live in a studio?
no, I'm making a joke.
I see, yeah. No,
But
because I used to. I
it's
used
a
to like have
small,
literally four walls.
it's a small 2-room apartment, but it's I can't complain. Um, Honestly, the funniest part in all of this is like, and I'm sure maybe you're like this too, is I kind of just hung out anyways before the lockdown. So for me, there really wasn't a big difference.
Yeah, for me as well. I mean, I do, like spending time at home. So I think for the first 3 weeks or so, it was fine. It didn't really make that much of a difference. The biggest thing has been, I'm on the ground floor, so I don't have a balcony. I don't have a terrace, like any of that.
And neither do I.
Yeah, and so just the lack of like sunlight, that's been the toughest part for me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Did you stick your
luckily
head out the window?
I can't. I have a screen. Can't even do that. No, but other than that, it's okay. I mean, the house is pretty decently sized. We had moved to this place a little bit outside the center. So we do have, like a big kind of like open plan sort of space up here and then 2 bedrooms downstairs.
Yeah.
So that's been nice, I
So you can
guess.
run around.
I can kind of run around exactly. Do some jumping jacks.
Yeah. Hey, this is the thing. We are getting ready for the beach that will never come.
That will never come. Meanwhile, I'm like planning like trips, like booking flights that get canceled every other week. But
Yeah.
I'm like trying
Really?
to.
So you're full on. You're prepared to jump on a plane.
Well, I guess like I wouldn't mind it. I mean, then again, like I'm pretty sure I've already like gotten the virus and like already recovered from it.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
not
I feel
too
the same
worried
way.
like
Like
myself.
back in February or like late January, I'm pretty sure. It hit me because like I got knocked out for like a week.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I never went to the doctor. I just called the doctor like, yeah, I can't move. I feel really bad. Like,
Oh, yeah, so that's been it. I mean, I've been like, obviously, now we have to wear a mask, but even just before, just from keeping, if I do have anything, getting other people sick. But yeah, no, personally, it's okay. Like, I'll get on a plane. Like, I don't mind.
yeah, you are a daring man, Thiago. The only doing whenever this is over is walking. That's it. I am just hoofing it everywhere. So we'll see. We'll see. Now, for you, for example, your family, everyone's good back home.
Yeah, everyone's good. Yeah, no one's my grandparents. They're on full on lockdown. They haven't like left the house in a month or so. But
Yeah.
everything's all right. What about you? Because I know your family's in upstate New York, right? What's
Yeah.
the because I have like a good friend who lives there as well, so she's been kind of updating me.
Yeah, the status in New York right now is like the city. I mean, obviously, we all know the city is hit really, really bad. Um, But near Buffalo, Niagara Falls, we have small few cases. But like I even know like there are friends of friends, parents and stuff that have been affected by it. And
Mm-hmm.
so, it's kind of like it's strange because in Italy, like all the people I know in Italy, it all seems like we stayed safe and we're healthy. And it's crazy to think about, like in America, I'm now hearing people that are close to me that have gotten it or even went to the hospital. And it's like, I mean, now everything's good, like they recovered and everything, but
you don't
it's
really hear about
strange to
people here.
no.
Yeah.
And then the funny part is if we think about the news, because I'm sure your friend told you this too, in the news in America, they promote all the problems in Italy. And then in Italy, they talk about how bad America is. So it's like, you, like, so when I talk to my family, they're always like, "Are you okay?" And it's like, "Am I
Am
okay?
I
Are
okay?
you
How are you
okay?"
guys doing? Yeah.
and that's what's interesting. Like this, in the times we live in right now, it's quite interesting to think about how news really travels, because what we hear, I mean, I have to tell you, Italy has been pretty transparent with the news, pretty unbiased.
Yeah.
America, no.
No, yeah.
So,
No, yeah. If anything, it's like no. I think Italy, especially considering it's been the first country to have to deal with this here, and then find the its own approach, couldn't really follow what China was doing, what South Korea was doing, which were the two models they had. I think they did a pretty fair job. I think dealing with it despite the initial sort of like errors and leaks. I think that the that went to the press like caused like a bunch of people to kind of move around and like spread to the rest of the country. But
yeah, that
no, I
was
think
crazy
Europe as a
that
whole,
Saturday
to some
when
exception,
everyone
with
was.
that Saturday, yeah, all the videos of people like running in Centrale Garibaldi. Oh man.
Like, uh, but that's people, and that's the thing. Like, we became the model of the democratic society
Yeah,
of how
yeah.
to deal with this situation. So, no, I don't know.
No, exactly. It's mostly the politics of it all. I think it's like now, of course, the economic repercussions and how all that's going to play out. I think that's going to be the biggest problem for everyone, really. And I think here's
Oh
where
yeah.
we're seeing a lot more just disagreement and fighting here in Italy. Certainly, a lot of that. Even like
Yeah.
trying to like stay away from like Twitter and things because it's just.
But it's bad too. We can't continue to follow those social media sources as a way to communicate with each other, especially in a professional environment like politics. That's not a good
Yeah,
idea. Because, all
exactly.
right, Annalise is in the house. Hello, boy. Uh, Annalise, you made my morning right there. All right. Uh, have you had Annalisa before, Thiago?
Yeah, I've had an Elisa for
Yeah,
sure. I've been doing a
see,
lot
she's
of
a lion.
levels 1 to 3. Had an
Yeah.
Elisa. Chiara is another one who's always. Actually, I haven't seen Chiara in a while from
No,
Naples.
Kiara kind of disappeared. Our strong team, our veterans.
Yeah,
Happy
Chiara and her.
Saturday,
I
though.
miss her emojis.
Yeah. Annalisa, what's going on today, Annalisa? You having a good day? She'll respond in 5 minutes. Oh man. So that's the world we live in. But Thiago, are you cooking a lot lately?
Yeah, I have been
Because I
cooking
know
a
you
lot
like
for
to cook
sure.
before.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways, I've even been eating, I think, more healthy, but I've been eating a lot more. So I don't know if, if it's a net positive or negative at the end of the
It's
day.
a balance. Yeah. I have to tell you something, maybe also too near your house. Do you guys have a lot of mom and pop shops
Yeah,
like
yeah, because
bakeries and butchers?
I'm right off via Padova, so it's just full of little like ethnic shops and things like that.
Perfect. Exactly. And do you go to those instead of like an Esselunga or a
Yeah,
palm or
yeah.
something?
I've been trying to. I
Yeah,
mean, because then I don't have to line up. That's a big one. And then also to just like support the like the little
the
guys. Like I think
local.
they're suffering the most.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just been actually really nice just to avoid the supermarkets in general. I've been doing a bit of that. What about you? What about your area?
In my area, yeah, like I have like a small little like cheese and butcher shop, and then I have a fruit stand and a vegetable stand. So what like I notice is we may be eating more, um, but like the great part is I feel healthier. Like the food when I would go to Esselunga before and I'd buy a bunch of food, and during the week, every time I'd eat, I'd be like, and then it's nice because it's kind of like a rebirth of just go to your local places, buy the food
Yeah,
because that food makes you feel good.
yeah. And I think even the interactions, like the solidarity that we're seeing, you really get to experience that a lot in the little shops. Whereas I feel like the supermarkets, like people in line, and you just see like a lot of anger and um, I haven't had many positive experiences going to like Esselunga or Lidl, but at the shop, yeah, it's like always like talk to them, even if it's like a quick interaction. There's just, like I see a lot more of that humanity in those shops, so that's been nice too.
Exactly, and I see a lot more like even that they remember your name. Like they remember your name. They say, oh, okay, you ordered this, because usually you have to call ahead sometimes too. So I like that. It's more like building community,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah, and that I think has been the positive side of all this. We obviously were forced to slow down, like reconsider some things. So it's something that hopefully, once we're out of this, we'll be able to like
Yeah.
maintain some of these new habits. Yeah, that has been definitely a positive. Not having to, travel 40 minutes a day every time I have to go to work or come back has been super
Yeah.
nice as well. Uh, so yeah, so let's see. So Annalisa saying that she has a revision on the 22nd of April. So that's coming up in just a few days, Annalisa. Let us know if you have any questions. So today we have an activity for you, but we're happy to adapt. I think right now you're the
Yeah.
only person with us. Maybe we have another person who joined. But really, any questions you have, if you need any help, we can help you practice. She's feeling very, very calm this morning.
Good.
Or I'm still tired and you're talking fast. We have been talking a
No,
bit fast for a 1 to
yeah,
2.
sorry about that, Lisa. Oops. Um, so nice. So for the revision, well, congratulations, Annalisa, for getting to your revision. I imagine you are doing it online, so you're probably doing some online classes as well. Um, for our students, I have to say, first off, it's really nice that you guys are doing the My Smart lessons with us. These webinars are really cool to give you guys a general practice for listening and writing. Um, but what I notice in the My Smart lessons in our group, in our small groups or our individuals, it's really nice to kind of see you guys again.
Yeah,
It's as a teacher, I think that dynamic is really important
yeah.
for us.
Definitely. It's been really nice this week to see people, talk to people. And one thing, I don't know, Shawn, if you had this experience as well, but I had, I think, 3 revisions this week of different levels. And I was a little bit worried at first because I, thought that it would be hard for a student to do well in a revision after, maybe 2 months of not practicing very much,
Yeah.
of not coming to school. Surprisingly, I feel like at least all the students I had, they did better than what I'm used to getting in school. So I don't know if it's because they have more free time, so they're able to actually dedicate more time to studying English. Maybe they're doing a lot of webinars, reviewing the material. I don't know. I was really surprised. I had a revision of level 4 yesterday. And when you get to the questions like the Azi, Quasi, which can be difficult even for level 6 and 7s, on fire. They just got all of them, including what is the weather like. They just got that. So that was just it's been a positive element as well.
No, I agree. I've been very surprised as well out of the students for even with checkpoints. And what was nice is even looking at some of our follow-ups. For the follow-ups, it's really nice that our teachers, they even say like these people were on fire in the Rev. And then, they were speaking so naturally. And then what's nice about, even though with technology, there's going to be some lag or some kind of interruption, but our students really were able to move through it and not lose their accuracy. It was really nice.
Yeah, definitely. So I think Annalisa is saying that she did her first one maybe this week. And this is her third. Oh, so you're level 7. Okay. Cool. So then we can talk a little bit faster then. Great. So Annalisa,
now you're in trouble.
What city do you live in? What school? I don't remember. I remember seeing you before, but I don't remember the city. That's also been another really nice thing about this.
I think Annalisa's from Genoa.
People. From Genoa. Okay, cool.
If I remember correctly, yeah. But correct me if I'm wrong, Annalisa, okay? But even, for example, like you said, questions, even in level 7, there are really, what we learn in level 4 is carried into level 7, but we're just building questions and then we're just bringing it into the past. And so that structure is really helpful. Even to talk about, I remember, I think it's level 6 where we're asking, present continuous and present simple questions, or maybe that's level 5. I'm not sure.
Yeah, level 6 you got the
past
continuous.
See, I told ya. Annalisa, excuse me. Pardon. Bustarzizio, Genova, potato.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the owner of the school in Bustarzizio is Shawn. You remember Stefania, right? I think when you started working at Meravigli, Stefania was a consultant there. Stefania Grillo.
No, she had already gone. It was Valentina and Paola were the 2 consultants.
When you start, okay, all right. Yeah, because I know that Stefania. I think that's her school. It's the same. Oh, Stefania's in Novara. All right, we can't win.
Yeah, Annalisa, you just rocked this morning, okay? Oh my goodness. How do you know these things, Annalisa? That's what I want to know. How? Okay.
She started in Novara. There you go.
Oh, okay, cool. Excellent. See, and that's what's really cool too, is like I'm learning in these webinars that like the community of our school, is really strong, because also too we have mobility in our company, so we can move around and we can go to Cagliari or Palermo or Salerno, and I think that's really cool. Is if you stay in a company, like we've always been in Meravigli.
Yeah.
But it's cool to see people moving around. So.
Yeah, I've even met a couple people from France and Spain as well. One person from Spain. So that's been cool as well.
I know, and I think about Spain, and they're in Valencia, correct?
Yeah, Valencia. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I remember meeting the two consultants and the director, and they were so full of energy. It was incredible when they came to
Yeah.
Milan, and uh, and I wonder how they're doing. And then we have, for example, in France, um, he was with us for a while. He started with us.
Oh, Drew.
Yeah, Drew,
Yeah.
good old Drew.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the nice thing about Meraviglia is we got to really meet all the people as well from, from pretty much all the
Yeah,
schools. We do so much training there. So, but yeah, I wonder how those guys are doing. It must have been pretty hard for the team in Valencia, especially because they opened, I think, what
he just
in
started.
January,
Yeah,
December.
yeah,
So they probably don't have like too many students, but so it's actually been nice to see that some of their students were able to still join us and kind of get
yeah.
some
I
practice here
saw
through
in
the
some
webinars.
webinars that we had some Spanish and also some we had some French people as well.
Hmm.
And sometimes we had like I even had people from Brazil.
Really?
Yeah. And they're like or there was another person, there was one person from Brazil. I think they were in like a 6 to 7 one, and we're like from Brazil. But then later, I remember now they corrected themselves. They said, I lived in Brazil and now I live in Milan or something like
Oh, I
that.
see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I mean, these webinars they're also are open, right? So
Yeah.
if word
It's
gets
open to
around, I mean, anyone can
yeah.
join. Yeah.
Accent. So as you guys come in, say we don't bite. Don't worry. We're just your average teachers hanging out in Milan. But what I wanted to say before, Thiago, was this old saying is all roads lead to Rome. For my English school, all roads lead to Milan and leave Milan.
Yeah. That's true. Oh, damn! Starting problem with connect. Oh, you have some connection problems.
Okay.
All right, we'll be
At least,
here. If you lose
yeah,
connection, come back. We're not going anywhere.
exactly.
Yeah, and anyone else, guys? I see that we have 5 people watching us now. So yeah, do say hello. Tell us your name. Tell us where you come from. I know that you need a Google account to do that, but it's a good idea even to open one if you don't, because then you can comment. We can correct you. Just make it more interactive with you guys as well.
Exactly. So excellent. I'll put up on the screen now if you guys want. We'll get started. So today we're going to talk a little bit about our useful phrases. Thiago and I earlier were talking about traveling. We're talking about, kind of planning a trip or something like that, because Thiago's ready to get on a plane. I am not. And so today we're going to give you guys some survival tips on phrases that we can use in any situation for
Mhm.
asking for things. Okay. Okay, so you guys may have done this before, but we're going to just talk and we're going to review some useful phrases when traveling and how to ask for what you want. All right.
Yeah, so we can start here, guys, with if you can maybe give us some ideas. So let's start with a restaurant. So we're just going to look at a bunch of different slides that give you phrases that you can use a lot, quite often in different places. So here we have a restaurant. So how can you ask for those things? For example, you want to know where the bathroom is. You would like a menu or a glass of water, or when you're finished eating, you might want the bill. And so how can you ask for those things in a restaurant? So really think about the question as well.
Now, as they're creating some of the good questions, we have some synonyms for some of these things,
Mm-hmm.
some of the objects, like the bathroom. It depends, but for the most part, we can either say where is the bathroom or where is the restroom, for
Yeah.
example. Um, the bill, do we often call it the bill in America?
Check.
Yeah,
Yeah,
usually
the
it's the
bill, the
check.
check. Yeah. Exactly, and a few more. Yeah, you can say. I think in American English, you'd say mostly a
And if you guys are
restroom
interested,
in a public place. Um, though
yeah,
more internationally, it's also okay to say the toilet. In the U.S., it's not very common to say the toilet because it refers mostly to the object that you find in the bathroom.
yeah,
But it's pretty international. People will understand you if you say where is the toilet, just like Annalisa said here. And really nice, Annalisa. Also, some polite phrases there. Excuse me, where is the bathroom? Or, because in some places, especially here in Italy, you might need a key if you go to like a cafe. And so, can I have the key? Fantastic. Good use of the modals, perfect question forms. Really, really good job. Um, yeah. And then in the UK, you might also, another word for bathroom is the loo. You might hear that around.
whereas we have in America the John.
The John.
Which, in my opinion, I like to make a joke a lot about because the dialect of Milanese is they always put like il or la, like la valle, okay? So for names. So it's confusing because in America, if you say the John, it's specifically the toilet.
I had my Italian professor at university. He came from a pretty prominent Italian American community in New Jersey, and he says that a common word is also called the baghouse or something like which refers to the back of the house. But it's kind
Yeah,
of like the
the
way
back house.
the immigrants would say, yeah, because the bathrooms were made basically in kind of the backyard or something, so it was
Yeah,
separated from the house. And so, and especially with the pronunciation of some Italian immigrants, they say the baghouse, it's like the back of the house.
yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you get at
I
least
knew
a like
someone
the
would
John.
appreciate the John. But like that's the thing. Like in Milan, it's famous for the Ringhiera, and then in New York, it was the row houses and the tenements, the tenant houses, and those didn't have private bathrooms.
Hmm.
So it's interesting to think that the bathroom is like a modern day commodity. That we think every place should have a bathroom, but 100 years ago, crazy. Very good. So Annalisa, can you maybe give us another example for menu or a glass of water? Using some more modals as well. We have can, could, may. Okay, trying to bring those in. They say the three main things you need to know when you travel is where's the bathroom, how much, and one more. One more. What is it? Where's the bathroom? Or maybe something about
Something
like,
related to food
can
or
I have
something.
a map? Yeah, or
Uh,
food. It's either like, can I have a map or food? Like, but even when you travel, some phrases that are really important to remember is, um, where is a good place to eat? Um, so
yeah, one really nice thing you did there, Annalisa. It's the whole excuse me, because it's easy to be too direct. I think sometimes when speaking English, especially if your original language is one that includes a formal you. I know in Italy, it's not rude to go to a bar, to a cafe, and just kind of give a command, mi dia. It's totally fine because, see, you're using the lei form, and so you're already kind of expressing respect. some level of formality in that sense, so you can be a bit more direct. Since we don't have that in English, and the way at least the words that we use aren't so different, whether I'm talking, to the president or a friend, I mean, it's still not that different. The way at least we choose some of the words and the structures, we add a lot of these things, excuse me, or some modals. I mean, would is a really good verb to add politeness to it. So it's important to do that. And see, you have another perfect example here. You just, one correction, you don't need do in this case, because could works just like an auxiliary. So it's kind of like an ASI question, right? So could is your auxiliary. So could I have the menu? And that's perfect. Again, see, very polite as well.
Yeah.
Could I have?
And so you could say, could I have? Or you could even say a polite request would be, would you bring me a menu, please? Okay,
Yeah.
So one asking them for an action, and the other asking for them to bring you something. Okay.
Yeah.
That good old Ozzy, 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 oi, oi, oi. Okay.
There you are.
Hey, all right, Annalisa.
Now we're starting our Saturday morning.
Early.
Good. Very nice.
Very good. Very good. So please, sorry. Sorry. It seems like, do we often use sorry? Or is it more of a Canadian thing or a UK thing?
Well, I guess it's more if you're trying to get someone's attention. Maybe you could use sorry.
Yeah.
If they're busy doing something else, then you feel like you're
So it's
almost
like
like interrupting them. Yeah. Then I guess you would say sorry, but yeah, not generally. Not, I think if someone is already kind of waiting to help you, I think you can just, in that case, you can be a bit more direct and just go with the question. I mean, culturally speaking, I think most people would ask you if they can help you anyway, so you wouldn't even have to initiate it. They might just ask, how can I help you? And then you say, yes, can I have a pint of beer, please?
Exactly. Especially,
but sorry certainly works. That's fine.
Yeah. I imagine a nightclub, you're at the bar, and you're doing this. Sorry, hello. There you go. Okay. So now let's move on to being in a hotel. So continuing that same structure, we're going to be looking for clean towels, an extra room key, internet, a hair dryer, and there's other things that I think you guys ask for as well when you go to the hotel.
So here, Annalisa has a question. So why
Annalisa,
Ozzy?
very good question.
They're both
Okay.
good, Annalisa. We would say Ozzy is when you're asking basically a yes or no question. Okay, so see, can I have a pint of beer? I mean, that's more of a request, right? I mean, it is a question, but it's more of a request. But if I just ask you, Annalisa, do you live near Milan? See, the question is, it's yes or no. Those are the two possible answers you have. Whereas quasi, they're open questions. So, Annalisa, where do you live? Then I have infinite possibilities here, basically. So that's quasi.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
We knew you knew, Annalisa. We knew you knew. But some things that I think about when I go to a hotel is the chocolate on my pillow in the morning. I think of slippers. Okay, those are very important.
Oh, yeah, it's a good one, slippers.
Has your traveling, Thiago, changed in the past 5 years? Like, for example, I can think 5 years ago, I was happy just to go to a hostel.
Oh, yes,
But now,
for sure. I was all about
But now,
hostels like 5 years ago. I mean, obviously, I was a student, so I didn't really have a job or like a stable income, and so I was definitely trying to save as much as I could so I could just travel and kind of enjoy more like other experiences, go out, I don't know, drinking or sightseeing, whatever. Whereas now, yeah, I'm a lot more high maintenance in what I look for. I mean, I'm like happy to pay even, I don't know, like 60, 80 euros a night. Whereas before it was like a 20 is what I'm looking for. That was my budget per
yeah,
night. So,
exactly 20 or below.
exactly. So it definitely has changed quite a bit. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy to think about traveling and how it, like when we were in university, and maybe it's the same for you guys. When you were in university, you didn't care. You just wanted to travel. So you were fine with a backpack and
Yeah.
just go. And today, it's almost like, I don't have a family, but I almost act like I have children. Okay, this is where I want to be for a couple days. Okay, this is what's
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
happen. Is breakfast included? Good.
No, but I think even in terms of my destinations, I mean, 5 years ago, see, like going up to the mountain to relax for the 2 or 3 days, it just wasn't something I wanted to do really. I was much
Yeah.
would maybe go to like a city, something like that. But now, like I'm all about, going to like a place where I can just relax, take it easy. Maybe it is because we do live in, such a busy city, but yeah, like I just
Yeah.
even the idea of like like a resort, like, oh, that sounds amazing. Sign me up. Yeah, like an all-inclusive resort, like yes. Whereas before that was like the saddest thing
There's a
for me,
spa.
Yeah.
There's this guys, there's a swimming pool. Okay. Yeah. It's definitely changed. Oh,
Perfect.
okay. Very good. Hmm.
And another possibility for hair dryer, you can also say blow dryer.
Hmm.
Yep, very good here as well, Annalisa. Just one small suggestion, really, really tiny here. Maybe, so the password is one, it's a specific password. So can I have the password? Can I have the Wi-Fi password? Something like that. Unless, I mean, some hotels, they do generate passwords. So that in that case, it would be possible. Can I have a password?
Yeah. Because they could have multiple services. Sometimes some places have password per room. So it would be, could I
Yeah.
have the internet for the room kind of thing. But once again, specific.
And also good
Now we.
modal that Annalisa used here was may. I think out of,
Mhm.
between could I have, can I have, may I have, may would definitely be the most polite of the three. That's a good one as well.
Mhm. And to challenge you guys a little bit too, because we have a way to ask a question. We can use our modals, those are always good. But sometimes, if we want to be polite, we use words like, for example, we would say something along the lines of, by chance,
Hmm.
is there a blow dryer? Because it's like you're trying to be polite. So you say by chance. Do we have any other phrases like that, or is it just by chance? Chance. Or we could say, would there be?
Yeah, exactly. Or even I was wondering if you had, or something like that.
That?
Yeah, especially when it's a situation in which you're not sure if those things are available. See, because I mean, if I'm using can I, may I, could I, you assume those things are available and you're just requesting it. Whereas you might not know. I mean, is there a hair dryer? Do they offer that? Are there slippers? I don't know. And so in that case, yeah, would there be by chance? I was wondering. Um, you have more like of the sense of doubt that you're also expressing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
An excellent, great correction, Annalisa, as well. Can I have the Wi-Fi password? Beautiful.
Yeah, I can because I buy the service in the room.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, can becomes our formal way of saying, give me. Okay. There you go. So we talked about a restaurant, we talked about a hotel. What are some other places where we could use some services or we might be asking questions? Okay. So we also have the city. So in this city, there are many questions that we often ask. And once again, like Annalisa started, we're going to continue with excuse me, sorry, can you help me? Phrases like this to interrupt and start
Mm-hmm.
conversation.
Yeah, and I think in this case in particular, it kind of goes back to what we were just saying. See, there's more of a sense of doubt. If you're asking about, I don't know, if someone might have a city map, you're not sure, right? So, a restaurant, you're not sure if they can actually recommend your restaurant. Maybe there are a visitor as well. So, how would you approach that? Or must. You must give me.
Yeah, you must give me. No. So once again, we can kind of bring those down into this, by chance, do you happen to know where the train station is? Or um, would you mind telling me? Okay, excuse me, sorry, can you help me? Okay. Because sometimes I notice, like Thiago mentioned before, we travel to a country and maybe we get a little nervous, so we just go direct. But English, we kind of have to be a little bit more indirect with
Mm-hmm.
interrupting and moving in. It makes me think of my parents when I was a child. If I asked a question, they would say, "Shawn, did you ask to ask a question?"
Yeah.
Like, what?
It's certainly, in my experience traveling a bit, I know some countries, they don't like that approach so much. I know traveling in Germany, traveling in the Netherlands, for example, in which they are a lot more direct in those things. If you sometimes just, can you help me? They might just, yes, I can. And just kind of stop it at that, just quite literal. And you just have to like say what you want.
Yeah.
They don't beat
And
around the
that's
bush so
funny.
much.
Yeah. We really beat around the bush.
Yeah.
Can you help me? Yes, I can. Have a good day. Okay. Yeah.
Um, by chance in this case. So not change is a by chance or by any chance. It just means you're wondering if it's possible. So is there a possibility, basically? But it's kind of, we just shorten it to by chance or by any chance.
And also, too, in Italian, you guys use this a lot as well. The whole aspect of per caso,
Oh
by
yeah, per
chance.
caso. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think Italians can be quite polite as well, approaching certain situations. Yeah, non è che per caso avresti. Like, that's really, you're kind of really going around instead of just directly asking.
Where's the bathroom? There.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's check out. Let's hit down more towards building kind of dialogue for kind of the rest of our time that we have together. Um, here, for example, let's kind of have a conversation. Okay, so let's create a conversation, guys, and all of us together will kind of fill things in. Okay, so let's say we are new in town. Okay, so maybe, for example, Thiago, you want to be new in town, or you want me to be new in town?
Ah, I can be new in town. So is that
All
blue?
right. Yeah, I
Okay,
believe so. Yeah.
cool.
So here, for example, each situation, if we look at the situation number one, it looks like it's in a restaurant. Situation number two, hotel. And situation number three looks like,
I guess that's like either in a city or like just like maybe an information center, tourist center of some sort.
yeah, just exactly a
There's
visitor
a
in the city.
shop as
Okay.
well.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's maybe do that one. That's the one we cover the least. So see, I might approach someone and I might say, "Sorry, excuse me.
Mhm. And yes, how can I help you?
Yes, do you have a map, please?
Yes, the maps are at the back of the shop.
Thank you."
You're welcome.
Yeah,
And now here, guys, if we want to develop a little bit more, because when you ask for maps, you might look for a specific map. So what might be a good question if we ask for a specific map? Okay,
yeah, and also in this case, we're clearly in a place that you imagine they do have maps, right? Because you are clearly inside a shop. I mean, if you're asking in a more random location, I think the question might be just a little bit different. Maybe, could you tell me where I might find a map or something like that, where I could buy a map?
exactly. And Annalisa brought up, for example, is possibility you know. So here, for example, we might even cut it a little shorter, and this is a little bit more informal. If I interrupt someone and I'm new in town, I'll say, maybe you know. All right, if I see someone random on the street, excuse me, maybe you know where the bus station is. Okay, but that's very informal. Usually, if you're kind of new in town, you don't make that kind of assumption. Okay, so maybe you know is an assumption. Okay, so you're assuming you believe they know where things are. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we can just run through this. The last part, we can just kind of think about connecting things together. So if we have where is, can I have, do you have, and these are some different things, how can we connect these together? So where is going to be destination. So we would say something like, where is the park or the
Park.
cathedral?
The bus stop, perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah, the bus stop, exactly, because we're looking for a specific place. Whereas can I have is going to be some kind of object, some kind of product.
Yeah, that you assume they have as well. Can I have is, yeah, you really think that they can provide that to you. It's part of the services that they have. See, if you go to a cafe, you would say, "Can I have a coffee?"
Exactly.
Whereas the other question, "Do you have?" You're not sure if they have it or not. So it's less of a request, it's
Exactly.
more of a direct question. So that's if we go back to what we were saying, Annalisa, before with Azi. See, like, can I have? I mean, technically speaking, it is a question in the form, but it's more of a request. Do you have
Yeah,
is really a question. Here it's like it's yes or no.
exactly. Very good. So guys, we talked about asking questions, mostly practicing our Aussie and our quasi. We worked about asking for different things in different places, traveling in the hotel. Okay. I want to thank you guys all for following us this morning. It was great talking with you all.
Yeah, thank you guys, and thanks Annalisa really for all the participation. Really good contributions there, good questions. Yeah, so hopefully this was useful. And yeah, try to just kind of practice a little bit on your own as well, guys. If you just take a few minutes every day, just imagine, you're in a different city and you need this or you need that. Think about your specific needs as well. What is something that you usually find yourself looking for when you're traveling somewhere, when you are in a restaurant, in a hotel, in a city? And just have these dialogues in your own head. You can do it out loud, you can do it just thinking about it, but the more you think or even just kind of like write down dialogues, you just get more comfortable with it. And then certainly do it with your teachers as well. Now we're slowly starting to integrate the lessons as well, in which we're actually seeing you and talking to you. So do try to practice it.
Excellent. Very good, guys. You guys all have a lovely Saturday.
Thank you, guys. Have a nice weekend. And Shawn, have a nice weekend, you too.
Yeah, you too, brother.
I'll
Take
see you
care.
around.
See you soon.
Bye, guys.